I don't really have any script or structure for this video. I just sort of had a feeling inside of me that I wanted to do this, so I mean, I'm just gonna sort of talk about this because God, it's really cold, by the way, so I'm gonna be moving about probably. But basically what happened was, like, I don't know, I was just sort of been like online recently, and I was sort of like looking at stuff, like, particularly on Twitter. I know like Twitter isn't like a real place at all, but something's sort of been getting to me. I mean, it's always sort of got to me, but like especially recently, because for some reason my timeline is showing an awful lot of like, well, particularly women, of course, who are very antagonistic towards men, like supporting like men's death, or like saying stuff like when like a man has passed away, they show like no real care or like respect for them when they're gone, or just like, and like a lot on like the internet you'll see videos on like how, oh, we failed men from some women, or other stuff like why men are like so lonely, or other stuff like that. And I feel like I don't know what it is or why I feel this way, but like the more I see stuff like this, the more I feel like hurt inside, sort of. Well, probably not hurt, I don't think that's the correct word, but something about me just feels a little off, knowing the way that society views men nowadays, and how a lot of like their problems and their own suffering is sort of thrown aside for some inexplicable reason. And I mean, it rubs me the wrong way. It just irks me, that whole feeling of like knowing something bad. I feel like in a weird way, I guess it's sort of like, I don't know, maybe something bad would happen to me one day, and it doesn't matter like all the good stuff I've done, or like if I were ultimately a good person, the fact that I have a penis between my legs, basically, like someone somewhere, woman, maybe also a man, who gives a shit at this point, just someone out there would be like, nah, he deserved it. They know nothing about me, just some fucking random person on the internet. And that feeling just sort of like, the thought that like someone could like celebrate someone's suffering, no matter the context, is just awful in general. But to generalize all men as like just horrible people deserving of every worst pit, every single pit of hell, pretty much, it just sort of like feels wrong. Because I feel like, I mean, I know it's the common joke, oh, we live in a society where, oh, if you say that about a woman, oh, look at what you're gonna get. I mean, yeah, I get that's like, oh, it's the general response that the young kids are gonna do, but I feel like that response is warranted, because like, in a way it's true. You're gonna say something out of pocket and you're gonna get shit for it, but at the same time, you could basically say the same thing. Oh, someone's coming at the door. You could say the same thing about the literal antithesis of that group, and people just won't care. In fact, they wouldn't even give you a sideways glance. And when people would call you out, sorry, give me a minute. Sorry about that. Quick interruption. But oh God, where was I? I've lost my train of thought. But I was like, you can say something bad about a group, and some people probably won't care about it. Like, even though someone who will say the antithesis of you will get shit for it. And when people call you out when you say basically the same thing that guy who got cancelled did, people are going to defend you for some reason. And I don't want to like fucking get into a giant mess about this because this is focused solely on like men and how they're viewed. Ultimately, I feel like this weird hatred that men get is so like bizarre. Because I understand full well, yeah, there are plenty of shitty people out there. There's tons. I mean, the sad truth about life is that there are shit people who exist. People hate to admit it, but it's true. Shitty people exist. They are awful, and some of them get away with a lot of stuff. But just because some shitty people exist doesn't mean everybody's a shitty person. And alternatively, just because some shitty men exist doesn't mean all men are shitty. I think there are plenty of like just good people who don't deserve half the hate that they get, and it's sad that we're in an age where, you know, a lot of men are very lonely and are scared to get with someone because they fear, you know, what will be said about them, or like, will people actually care about them, or you know, there's always that dread of fear. What if she cheats on me? What if she says some lies about me and then I get into danger when I didn't do anything? What if I make a mistake and she leaves me and then I'll be all alone again? Like, there's always that dreaded fear of like so many men, they have like these problems. And the worst thing is that a lot of men, they're scared to open up about it because, you know, deep down we want to be independent. We want to prove that we can tackle all these issues by ourselves. And it's hard. We're too stubborn sometimes to accept that, yeah, we can't always solve problems by ourselves. Sometimes we do need help. Sometimes we need someone to give us a helping hand, and we hate to admit it, but it's true. Sometimes you do need a helping hand in life. And it's hard to accept because, like, independence is what we feel makes us strong. We feel like it makes us we're more capable if we can prove that we can do something on our own. And it's not necessarily a wrong mindset to have. If you're capable of doing something really impressive on your own, let's say you could solve a mission on your own, you could do something, the whole idea of, oh, I did this all by myself is very impressive. But at the same time, to just completely shun any teamwork or friendship or camaraderie or any help from anyone is very dangerous, because you will be alone, like, forever after that point. And again, not every problem can be solved by yourself. You will need help from these people. You need to talk to family, you need to talk to friends, and you need love in life. And, well, I mean, men are scared to actually trust people now, and I get it's hard to trust people because you don't know what people are thinking. And I don't like how, ultimately, my point is, I just don't like this mindset of, oh, all men are pigs and deserve hell, basically. And I feel like, and I understand, again, this is Twitter. This is a very Twitter thing overall. And again, who gives a fuck about these losers? They don't have lives. They're just farming for views. But just because you know someone's trolling and taking the piss, it doesn't mean it doesn't. You still have every right to feel irked by it. Like, I mean, maybe it's me being fucking autistic or whatever, but I take things a lot more literally than I should. I do. There's a long history of me doing that. I sometimes I'm consciously aware that it's a joke, but I refuse to take it as a joke because I don't want to take shit as a joke. It's just the type of person I am. I don't like doing that. I like to be overly literal. It's just who I am. It's just sort of ingrained in me to be that way. And it's hard for me to fight that mindset. So whenever I see people online saying stupid shit about, oh, fuck this guy, oh, you're just some misogynistic man because all men are horrible people, whatever the hell they're saying, just all that nonsense. It just sort of like, it annoys me. It really annoys me. And I don't think should be like, I don't think people should be allowed to get away with that sort of attitude, because it paints a very bad image. And again, I understand, yeah, there are bad men that exist, but not all men should be generalized, because just because one rotten apple is in a basket doesn't mean all the other apples should be just thrown away. But my point is, I think like men need a bit more like respect is all. I think all people deserve respect, like, and it should just be mandatory that we give respect, because we all want it, so why not give it? I mean, the golden rule is do unto others as you want done to yourself. So if we stop treating each other like shit and start treating each other more kindly, I feel karma would do us much better in life. And I want to say that I think all this generalization of men should end, and I think while we can demonize bad men, we should also understand that, you know, good men do exist. And I think to all the women out there who do feel that way, I mean, don't let these bad apples ruin the rest of the bunch. I think you should fully understand that there are other men, and take some time off the internet. Maybe look at the world. Maybe realize that the rest of the world, you know, not all people are always doing these horrible things. They're not all just like pigs trying to fucking grab at you and ruin your life. There are plenty of good people out there who will leave you be when you want to be left alone, and will offer you help if you want help. And just because they're offering you help, that does not mean they're trying to get in your pants, you know what I mean? Some people are nice, regardless of what you think. And to the men out there who are watching this, I think I want you to know you're not all pieces of shit. I want you to tell you, I'm sorry, I suck at speaking. I think to the men who are watching this, I want to tell you, you're not all pieces of shit. You're not all horrible beings like the internet tries to convince you. And I understand, like, you are scared to open up about problems that you do have, and you shouldn't be scared, because we all have problems, and it's completely normal to have problems, and you should open up to your loved ones about those problems. And, you know, you can't do everything by yourself, and it's sad to admit it, but you can't. You're going to need help from some people, so don't be afraid to ask for help when you're feeling down. And if you're feeling lonely, just talk to your friends, talk to your loved ones, tell them that you just want to hang out, and tell them how much they mean to you. And, you know, I feel like, you know, don't be so worried. I feel like the internet likes to paint an image about certain things, but like, it's not always true. You know what I mean? Just because you see something on the internet doesn't mean it's all of reality works that way. Like, I think a lot of the internet seems to radicalize certain things. They show only certain examples. The world's much bigger than just what you see on your screen. I think you should understand not every single woman is indeed some horrible person who's... I think you should have a bit more faith. Just have a little faith, and then, you know, life will go your way, you know what I mean? And if you're with somebody right now and they're, you know, bothering you and you have problems with them, don't try and wait it out. Don't try and focus on all those good times if you had any. Just leave them, because they're clearly causing problems. You shouldn't stay with them. And even then, always try to show respect. Don't try and talk shit. Don't try and talk them down. Don't try and talk shit about them. Don't do any of that. Just understand where you are in life, and just try to make sure you live the best life you can. And, you know, the point is, like, there are people out there who do love you. Like, your family, your friends, they clearly care about you. You're not a horrible person. You're not the monster that the world likes to think you are. Like, what the fuck does one Twitter idiot matter, right? And I think just everyone needs to understand that men's mental health and like our feelings should have a little more, should be cared about a little bit more, like respected a little bit more. Because from my own experience, I know what it's like to have like people just not understand you. I know, like, I don't really want to get into my own personal story because this is not what it's about. I just want to talk about like as a whole. But I know what it's like to feel disrespected and like annoyed by people, and I know what it's like when you want to, you know, just lash out at people, and that's not the right thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do, and you shouldn't do that. And you know, I just want all the men watching this to understand that, you know, retaliation is not the answer. Sometimes you have to just keep a logical mind. You need to think about like you know, think these people themselves, they're not saying this just because of like, not all of them are saying it just to annoy people. Some definitely are, but some probably do have their own issues going on, and they're broken mentally, and they themselves need help and they themselves don't fully understand the world. So like, don't take them too seriously, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck this video even was. I don't really know if anything I said made sense. Ultimately, I just feel like, you know, this giant hate mob that's against men needs to stop, and I want all men to know you are loved, you are all great people, and I hope you get everything that you deserve in life. So, yeah, I'll just leave this there. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.